cups of water, and I have the 6 different colors that you have in an M&M bag. So what we're going to do, no Leroy, what we're going to do is we are going to see if we can get the M on the M&M to float. And I'm going to tell you how this works after we get this all done. Now, I did try this once before, and I kind of got it to work. So hopefully, since I've got 6 different ones now, at least one of them will work. So what we're going to do is for each one, notice I just have a little bit of water. You don't need a lot of water at all. You're going to put each M&M in its own cup, but you have to make sure that the M is facing up or it will not work. So when you drop it in, make sure that your M is on top. All right, so for each one, I'm gonna make sure that my M is on top and dump each one in. Now, I don't know if you can see it yet, but the red one is already starting to turn the water colors. And that's because the coating on this candy will dissolve in water. And that's how this is kind of going to help us out. So you're going to see this water is going to start turning red. This water will turn orange. In fact, it's already starting to. Yellow, green, blue, and brown. Now, we're going to see which one does it the best too. Does color matter in this experiment when the M starts to float? Does the M float better on a red one or a brown one? I also filled each cup with a little bit different level of water, so maybe the level of water might make a difference too. So you guys can play around with this experiment as much as you need to. That way you can kind of see how it's working. And as you see, while we're zooming in here, we have some of the water starting to turn colors. Now, I want you to really look back here at this red one. And I don't know how well you can see that M&M, but notice how it's turning white. That's because that shell candy was just dyed with red dye. And now all we have left is the white shell that was left over. So we're going to let this sit here. We're going to time lapse it for just a couple seconds. It's not going to be a long time lapse, and then we're going to come back and we're going to see how they've changed over this amount of time. All right, we'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, here we're back. Now, as you noticed in the video, in the time lapse, not only did the color start to get off, but now the candy coating is actually starting to dissolve a little bit too. So on almost all of these, we are left with seeing just a little bit of the white candy coating and then some of the chocolate. So you'll see how this red, it's all red except for where the white candy coating is coming off. Now, on the red one, now this blue one didn't even lose the color very much. On the red one, you can already start to see the M lifting off. You see how we got something kind of floating around in there right next to that M&M? So, what's going to happen, oh, there it is. Let's see if we can get zoomed in on that.
Go in.
There's our floating M. So it popped up almost immediately on the red one. And hopefully, slowly but surely, I'm going to give them all just a little stir to help them along a little bit. Slowly but surely, all of our M's will start to rise. Okay, now, the reason that this is happening, if you look really closely at your M, if you do this experiment, is you're going to see that it's not just the white M, but you're going to see what looks like a really thin piece of paper. That's because it is paper. It is edible paper that they use to put the M's on these M&Ms. Oh, my orange one popped up now, except it broke in half. But you can still see the floating M. It is now floating on top of the water.
Yep.
Even though it broke in half. So they're getting there. So you're just gonna have to watch and see. Now, I have only done this with M&Ms, so a challenge for you is to maybe try it with some other candies like Skittles. Will the same thing happen with the S on the Skittles? Test it out, see what happens, see how long it takes compared to the M&Ms, because Skittles are already just a hard candy. They don't have chocolate in the middle, so it might be a little different, you never know. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed doing this experiment. I'll see you later.